A West Metro middle school teacher has quite the story to tell. To his surprise, his blunt and witty words are resonating with hundreds of thousands of people. Take a look at Mr. Ike's vulnerable journey that has put him on the national stage.
Nice crown.
Matthew Eicheldinger is home early on this afternoon. The Bloomington dad is getting some extra family time these days, on sabbatical from the job he says he was always drawn to.
And I look back at everything I'd done in high school, like I did soccer camps and the coaches always gave me the little kids and church volunteer work, and I was like, I think I'm just supposed to do this, and fell in love with it.
Middle school language arts, teaching about books and reading, a struggle he understood.
When I was growing up, I was not a reader either. I read mostly Calvin and Hobbes.
So he got creative with his incentives.
But a lot of other teachers were handing out like candy as an incentive for kids to like answer questions or volunteer, and I didn't have candy and didn't want to. So I came up with the idea of just telling kids stories from my childhood that were funny. If we finished the task early or if we, did well on an assessment altogether, I would tell the story, and those really took off.
Every time a kid made a good decision, they got to draw a story from a jar, a story from Mr. Ike's past, like the purple grape lady.
When my wife and I were in college, this old lady spit on our car at an intersection, and it was really weird and obscure. I took all those stories and I was like, I should probably write them down before I forget them all. And as I was writing them, I thought I could weave them into a book, maybe.
He printed out the book. It was a classroom hit. Soon, the Helsons wanted a copy.
The curse took more from me in one school year than anyone could have thought.
That's when he started the long and arduous journey to get published.
Over those 15 years, I received hundreds of rejections. I kept all of them. But I include those students in on that entire conversation of, I just sent this to a really famous agent, now we have to wait 3 months. And then they're asking for 3 months, did you get that email yet? Did you get the email yet? And then finally I can be like, I got the email, it was a big no. And then they're disappointed with me, but then they immediately ask like, well, what are you gonna do next? And that's where I get to show them, some resiliency and persistence is, well, I'm gonna write the next one when I get home.
Your kids saw you get rejected. Why was that important?
I think for kids, they need to see that you need to put in a lot of work to accomplish what you want. And it's not all happy either. So I have this goal that I think will work.
Then, finally, in 2023, those kids got to hear some good news.
We made a 2-book deal with Andrews McMeel Publishing. They do all things syndicated, so like Big Nate and Garfield, Calvin and Hobbes, which I was the only thing I read. So it was this big full circle moment of this dream that I've had for so long that's also connected to my childhood.
He decided to take a 3-year sabbatical and then another break he never expected.
Hello, my name is Matt, I'm a teacher. Hello, my name is Matt, I'm a teacher, and today I want to tell you about Mario. It was the first day of school, and one of my students walked in through the door wearing all Mario merchandise.
He talks about how when he let his students truly know him, he got to know them.
But I think the Mario that I have in my room, is way better.
Over the course of the past summer, he went from 100 Instagram followers to 250,000.
But some stories should just stand alone, and this is one of them.
He shares stories about teaching moments, not about academics, but about character.
When really we should just be like, Hannah, I know that who you are, that's enough. And I hope you know that too.
He shares his book progress too.
So I'm getting all these messages of kids I haven't seen in 14, 15 years, or like, you popped up on my feed and I remember when you used to tell those stories and I can't believe you finally got the book published. And those are like pretty heavy emotional moments for me, because you just, you don't think 15 years ago that you would be where you are today. And just very thankful for everyone who's been a part of the journey.
And he has documented every single one of those helpers. He creates an end-of-the-year drawing for every single class depicting something funny each kid said.
That is Audrey, and Audrey thought that Disney World was full of spies.
That way, Mr. Ike remembers every student, and it's clear they remember him too. The teacher who believed he could and did.
So to say like I did it is it's pretty cool.
A group of Minnesota refs have been overseeing matchups in our state for decades. And as our WCCO As Marielle Moe shows us, through this love of the game, they created a bond that goes beyond state borders.
Shake hands, please introduce yourselves.
Under the Friday night lights is where they meet each week.
I'm gonna flip it and let it land, guys.
Where these bonds were born. These 5 longtime friends oversaw the Wayzata vs. Eden Prairie football game last Friday night. For 16 years, Jim Schrank has roped his band of brothers to make a special trip to a suburb outside of Chicago to ref high school games there.
When he first asked us if we would be willing to do that, it was an easy decision. And obviously for a very, very good cause.
It touches my heart.
Jim's high school friend, Tom Schlegel, died in 2006 from pancreatic cancer. The two graduated from high school in Illinois in 1978. Tom went on to coach football at a rival school.
He was a great guy. You know, he was a well-respected teacher and coach.
Each year, those two schools play each other in Tom's honor.
Then we donate our game checks to Tom Schlegel's Memorial Scholarship Fund, which benefits Nequa seniors going into exercise science, which is what he was all about.
Yep. Didn't make it to the line of scrimmage.
These friends just got back from their 8th trip since 2007. A trip turned into tradition, and a community in Illinois turned into family.
We take care of one another. We, have each other's back.
If you want to make new friends that are great people, become an official, become a judge, become an umpire for sports and serve those schools and serve those student athletes.
In Wayzata, Marielle Moe, WCCO Sports.
That's our show. We hope that it lifted you up, maybe even inspired you to do some good. You can see more of these heartwarming stories every week on our Sunday morning show at 7 to 8 a.m. on WCCO TV. And if you have an uplifting story, we want to hear from you. That's how we get some great ideas. You can submit your story to WCCO.com/uplift. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next week.